Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
Let's run these bulls, baby. Baby, 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 baby. Let's run these bulls, baby. Baby, baby.
Hello world, this is Who Let the Bulls Out, coming back at you with a brief video to describe how and where and how often XRP is traveling around the world, transferring value in real time through a service called On-Demand Liquidity, previously known as XRapid. XVS, some other Ripple corporate programs were rebranded last fall as On-Demand Liquidity, where exchanges and financial institutions are converting a national currency on one side, turning it into XRP, and then sending it around the world to another exchange or FI on the other side to convert it back into cash of some kind. I want to walk you through some basic pairs and some websites where you can track this for XRP in real time across different exchanges. Fiat Leak has become quite popular. A lot of features here. You got your generic prices for different movers up and movers down in the market. What I want to focus on is that various assets. So here, this left menu is where you can find XRP and every other digital asset on the site. We're focusing on XRP because we're talking about its utility. In the last minute, we're having millions of XRP traded on the exchanges, and these are the exchanges that they're moving on and at what intervals. Volume here has been up exceptionally in January, even more so in February. So real-time XRP is traveling from these countries of origin, the money's flowing into XRP, and then being sent through the exchanges to various places around the world. So this is your currency, some shipping off to Asia, but a lot of it's US dollar volume right now. All the different exchanges listed: Binance, Bitfinex, Bittrex, GDAX, Kraken. So these are major exchanges that you can track how XRP is moving around the world. This is a very helpful website. Like I said, it's become very popular. Just learn how to interpret it different times a day. This volume really spikes. Also, Utility Scan. This is a site that was rebranded as XRapid Shares, what it used to be. Here's the daily volume in millions of dollars of on-demand liquidity. So this is the total amount of XRP traveling through the different exchanges. We had an all-time high here of $11 million transferred around the world just a couple days ago. All-time value since it was launched in October 2016. To the right here, you have in the last 24-hour period the volume per corridor being a matched fiat currency to another fiat currency. So basically a foreign exchange pair. US dollar to Filipino, US dollar to Mexican peso. You got an Aussie dollar to US dollar, euro to Filipino dollar, Aussie dollar to Filipino dollar. So clearly US Mexican pesos huge. That's volume that's traveling from Bitstamp in the US in US dollars to Bitso being converted into Mexican dollars using XRP as the conversion method. So it's money piping in. Here's another example: Aussie dollar on the exchange Bitcoin markets to the Filipino exchange coins.ph. This is how you can track where the XRP is moving. There's a lot of implications here for market movement and price action versus volume of ODL transactions. See what I'm saying? You can do some research there. Bitso. Bitso is the Mexican exchange I just featured on the last page. XRP is the #1 currency by volume on Bitso exchange in Mexican dollars. So this is very interesting. It dethroned Bitcoin. It's more than Ethereum by a ton. 68% of the exchange volume is XRP now since this service was adopted. So we have real-time transfer of fiat using XRP. It's foremost utility I can think of in cryptocurrency right now. Okay, charts. These are Google documents, which I'll link in the description below. But here's your Bitso volume of XRP to Mexican dollar, or Mexican peso, but increasing with time. As the transaction volume is increased, so too do we see Bitso's volume increasing directly. So this is just a good check. You can come here, coins.ph. That's one of the Filipino exchanges that's on board. You can see a nice ramp up of volume, especially into 2020 here. This is when New Year started. Boom. Makes you wonder what's happening behind the scenes with the payment rails we've been talking about on the channel. This is from an old Alex Cobb post. Okay, last but not least, this is cool. You can highlight and hover over these different transactions which are color-coded and actually see the addresses that are the recipients of the on-demand liquidity XRP. Some of these are different exchanges. All these on-demand liquidity flows are represented in this chart. Here we see FlashFX is one of the partners that's going to be using ODL here to move Aussie dollars. Crypto Eddie has been doing some deep dives, talking to some people. FlashFX is one of their employees was talking to her, saying that there might be a likely opening of a corridor for on-demand liquidity to Japan in Q1 using FlashFX. So she's also got a new video out today where she's going to talk about some Brazilian and other corridors. So These are 6 great resources that you can go to anytime. They're publicly available on the internet. I love coming to Fiat Leak just throughout the day, check out what's going on, see the volume by minute. There are different at peak times. You could see it was going crazy over the weekend when we had that all-time high. This is the all-time high again. February 11th, $11 million on demand liquidity. So that's real-time fiat converted into XRP, shot out as fiat on the other end. Ripple's killing it. You can too. Be smart, be wise, know what projects you're getting into. This is not financial advice. I just wanted to demonstrate how XRP has real-time utility in the real world. Keep running with the bulls. Please come back to the channel if you like this critical thinking and analysis of where money's going around the world and where you want to situate yourself in the process. Best. Come back. Peace.
Let's run these bulls,